by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I stand by you. I think that's good. Hey YouTube, it's me, Christiana. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to When in Doubt Pink. Hello, welcome to the end of my end of July wrap up. Because I was gonna say welcome to the end of July, but it's actually I'm making this the same day I'm posting this. Your girl has been exhausted, okay? But I wanted to, there's so much I want to talk about this month. And so I was like, all right, hell or high water, I gotta come here and run my mouth, okay? All right. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Christiana, beauty lifestyle girly, okay, 9 to 5 baddie, nonprofit baddie, okay? And at the end of every month, I like to just kind of give my 2 cents on things that I've been loving, things that have been going on with me personally, and sometimes I get a little chatty with like pop culture things, and I have a couple of pop culture things on my list today. So hopefully I'll have enough energy to timestamp all of this so you can kind of hop around as you want. But we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Also, if you're interested in how I got this face, this is my no foundation summer face routine. Look out for that. It'll be in the form of a short, yeah, short form content for the win. But I am gonna dabble into makeup while we chit chat because I think I want to play in some of my face paint. I'll stand by you. So the categories are community highlights, mental health check-in, things that brought me joy in the month of July, goals and challenges, beauty, music, TV shows and movies, pop culture chatter, trends and internet memes, and the tea on me, okay? Lots to get into. I'll just say really quickly for my community highlights section, you know, again, I say it all the time and it really does come from my heart, okay? Thank you so much for like coming, checking in on me week after week when I'm like posting, engaging with my content. I've been seeing some new faces in the comment section. Thank you so much for that. Any little bit helps with visibility and to grow this community. And I also just get really excited like being able to talk to other people, you know what I mean? Like my channel is very small, and there are people with much bigger channels than mine where I like go to their comment section to see what the girlies are talking about, and ain't nobody talking about nothing, you know what I mean? And not saying you have to comment when you watch people's stuff, but I realize how lucky I am that people want to comment and want to talk to me and want to give me feedback when I'm asking stuff in videos. Like all of that is actually very special because it doesn't happen for everyone, so thank you. Mental health check-in. Girl, this month, like July, literally like felt like the longest damn month on record ever. And like it was a longer month, right? Like it was a longer month than, you know, most months are. It was 31 days and I felt every bit of those 31 days. Every last one of them, okay? But I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, okay? I went on vacation this month, right? And it was a much needed vacation because I was like fighting burnout with a stick real bad. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I came back to work, there was so much stuff waiting for me that I've only been back 2 weeks, right? And I am thoroughly burned out again, to the point where my my supervisor, we don't talk like that in my organization. Like I work for a labor union. We don't usually use words like boss, supervisor, whatever, but just so you guys kind of know who the hell I'm talking about. My lead, it was to the point where they were like fully on board with me taking off a few days this week because I you know, hit the wall really hard, to the point where they were like, I'm sorry actually for strapping you down with this much work. But we do a whole lot with very little, regularly. I think I talked about this before. There's just not a ton of people on my team, but we like make miracles happen. And sometimes that stuff comes at a cost. I like that a lot. I'm doing like mad blush on my face, and then I'm gonna do like maybe some lines or something. I don't know, fun. It's weird though, because for like as stressed out as I am, I'm also feeling just incredibly grateful for where I am right now. If you were with me last year, you know, okay, so it's technically August 3rd, 4th. Ooh, today's the August 4th. And this time last year, I was beating down the door, okay, of the organization that I work at now, begging them, basically, like damn near begging them to take my ass back after I left them 2 months prior. I had an opportunity with a friend who had received a huge opportunity. He was trying to put me on, and he did, you know, and I came to his org in the promises of making bank, and I was. I was making more money than I've ever made in my life. What it cost me to work in that space, in that environment, people were like very unhappy there. People were just not kind to one another in that space. Not saying like you need to be kind to people like at work or whatever, like, but it was like a different level there than I had anticipated, and was not prepared to deal with that on any level. And it brought me to the point where I had an office, right? Like I had an office with my name on it, on the door, okay? And I would go into that office and cry my damn eyes out every day I was there, because I felt kind of duped, because I just didn't know that the work culture in that space was going to be what it was. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. As badly as I needed that money, as much as I knew that the money I was making there would have changed my circumstances entirely, would have literally just changed my life, right? Would have changed my life. It wasn't worth it for me to be there, right? And I'm telling the story again because a coworker that I had made friends with while I was there recently had a complete mental breakdown, to the point where she's been in the hospital for months because of the way that space was breaking her down. And I don't tell this person's business, right, for gossip or for a kiki or any of that. I'm bringing it up because that could have been me. That almost was me. And when I found out, it hurt. It hurt me so bad, because I remember her and I like having conversations definitely about me getting out of there, you know what I mean? Because I knew that I would still welcome with open arms where, you know, at where I'm at now. But we also talked about what it would look like for her to get up out of there, and the resources that she had and felt like she could use to get up out of there. She didn't do that. I think she thought that she was strong enough to stick it out, and it came at a cost. Now, I'm not saying like coming back to my org now didn't also have a cost, you know what I mean? A lot of the awkwardness has since cleared up. Obviously, it's been a year later, you know what I mean? But I would do it all again just to come back. I would deal with the little comments and the little jokes and stuff, you know, little side remarks about the fact that I left. I would deal with all that again, just knowing everything that I know now. So although I'm tired and I'm stressed, I'm also doing what I love. I'm at an organization that I love. Not too many people can say they like their jobs. I do, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for that. Things that brought me joy in the month of July. Okay, like I said, I went on vacation. I went to Miami with my cousin, and we got into a lot of fun and trouble and all that good stuff. And if you missed that recap, you can go check it out. I also got to spend some time with my BFF, Byron, who came to visit me from Arizona. I didn't record that because that was just like my private time with my friend, who I rarely get to see in person, but he tries to make an effort to come visit his friends and family during the summer. And usually he will make his way to my house and we'll catch up. And I just really appreciate, for real, adult friendships that don't have a ton of expectations on them, and can just be what they are. We're meeting each other where we are, and it just like feels good to know that like it don't matter how long it's been since we last talked, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna keep being friends, and it's always gonna feel like he never left at all. And I love that for us. I'm gonna use a little blue here. Blue. I'm also just really glad that I made it to the ocean this month. Again, like while I was in Miami, we went to the beach, and for me, right, so I grew up like literally the entire like front part of my life, right, I've never lived more than 20 minutes from the beach, right? I'm a shore girly. Like I can't swim, but I grew up next to the beach. Various parts of my early adulthood, I lived maybe 2 or 3 blocks from the beach, right? The shore is my home, right? And in this like later portion of my life, I live inland, and I'm about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes from the beach, depending on what the traffic hitting on. And that sometimes makes me sad when I think about it, but I always try to make my way down to the shore, to the beach, right? Because I think that there were some summers before the pandemic, right, where I would be trying to make my way to the beach, but for one reason or another I would end up not making it, and that would especially bum me out, especially when I look back on it, because girl, what the fuck, you know, like I would get into my little workhorse mode or whatever. I would get into my little workhorse mode, and I would be like, oh, I'm too busy to like try to make it down there this year or whatever. Next thing you know, it's fall and it's cold out and whatever else, and I'm over here like sad and bummed out because I didn't make it to the beach. I think there was a summer, I think 2018 is actually when I was like, like this is the last summer in which I don't make it to the shore in some way. And I've gone like every year since, including during the pandemic, you know. Another thing that has brought me a lot of joy this month is just the fact that I can literally feel people, caring about me. Ooh, saying that out loud is hitting a nerve a little bit. But I've just been feeling lately like I can literally just feel people caring about me. And it's weird, I think, a little bit, because I do have a habit of like walking around in this world like I only have me, and to some level that is true. I do only have me, but it's not like entirely true. I do have a village. I do have people in my life who care if I like live or die, like you know what I mean? I'm not actually as alone as my mind tells me that I am. And lately people have just been loving me out loud, and I like it. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Goals and challenges. Okay, so last month I was talking about how I had been engaging in a lot of uncomfortable conversations, ones that are about me, conversations that are about other people, and I feel like that was still showing up this month, and in different ways. For example, like I was saying in my night in my life vlog recently, that somebody like checked the shit out of me for something messed up that I said, you know, and I agree that they were right, and I apologized. And if you know anything, Capricorn, we rather die than be wrong, embarrassed, or have to apologize for anything. I'm kidding, but I'm kind of not. Rather die. But they were right. I was wrong. I was wrong, and I apologized. But that was also very uncomfortable for me to deal with, and for me to do that. I felt it in that moment as a growing, like I'm growing as a person, as a human, as an adult. Okay, and it's just interesting that that is like been the theme for a little minute now. Also in this category, I finally got down to business, personal business, and wrote out my Q3 goals, and I did share them with you. Like I said, I have mixed feelings on how in the weeds we'll get as far as updates on those things, because they're not really for you. They're like literally for me. Like sometimes when I watch people's end of month or beginning of month wrap up updates, people going through their Notion, talking about their goals and things they want to accomplish, sometimes it feels like it's for them, and then sometimes it feels like it's for us watching them. You know what I'm saying? These goals and things are for me. I think I like made the video for accountability to make sure I did it, but I don't know if I'm interested in being held accountable for the things that I wrote by you guys. You heard? So I don't know, but I am glad that it got done. I'm also really glad, now I'm like jumping ahead, but like I'm also really glad that like as a part of my Q3, my goal is to read at least one book a month, and I'm gonna knock that goal out of the park way before the end of the quarter, and I guess we can talk about that later. Okay, so beauty, right? I think I said a little while ago that it's really important for me to slowly but surely go through my lippy collection and replace, throw out and replace some things, because makeup does go bad, makeup does dry out. Makeup, when it's inside of a component, does carry germs, right? And we have to be mindful of those things. And so every once in a while, if I'm like ordering something from Amazon or something like that, I might grab a lippy, you know, while I'm buying this other thing. So I had gotten this like lip oil from e.l.f. Got this lip oil and I am in love with it. I'm obsessed with it, especially this like lip part of the component, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like much, but the way that it feels on your lips, okay, is a part of the experience of the product. It looks really juicy on the lips, feels really juicy, and I don't know what it is about this little feathery, because it's also like kind of furry, could be like a rabbit's tail or something. I don't know, that's weird, but like there's something about this piece here that's really a winner in my book. I'm really interested in this lip oil thing. The other lippy I have on right now, I'm trying to figure out where I put it though. Where did I put that lippy? It's from Maybelline, and it's from their like vinyl collection. So it's like a super stay lippy, and I cannot find it. Okay, I don't know where I put it, but this is how it looks. Okay, so that's a thing. And then okay, so when I was gearing up to go on my trip to Miami, I really wanted to find just like a cute little, quick little like travel size perfume to take with me, because sometimes it's really annoying to take the little travel spray bottle, empty bottle, and then you're like squirting all your perfume. Like that was kind of getting to be a lot for me. And so like I went on Amazon, and I had been looking around at different like perfumes and stuff like that for a minute. But then I found this Good Chemistry brand. It's supposed to be a little bit cleaner than like your normal perfumes or whatever, right? I found this one in Cocoa Blush, and as you can see, your girl is in love with this scent, okay? It's giving a little bit of like grown-up lady. It's like a little bit of coconut. It's very kind of tropical smelling. I'm really enjoying the scent to the point where I'm probably gonna go ahead and buy the real bottle because I just keep using it. Like, I've been using it just about every day since I came home, which is why it's almost gone. Love that. Okay, let's talk about music. Okay, so of course I'm gonna show you my list of repeats. I feel like it's been kind of fluctuating between the first 3 songs at the top of the list, which should be The Drums, Regina Spektor, and Bombay Bicycle Club, which is my favorite band, if you didn't know. I think I just keep like ping-ponging these like 3 songs for various reasons or whatever, but I'm enjoying myself. I think there's some songs on the bottom of this list that'll probably come up to the top at some point, like The Trees by The Pulp, which is just a song that I used to listen to all the time, that popped into my head recently, and I just keep singing it. And that's kind of like how things have been for me lately, is like I've just been super interested in like listening to older music, like not like super old necessarily, but just music that I used to love, right? Sometimes when I'm like having a hard time finding new music or having a hard time gravitating towards the new music, I find a lot of enjoyment just going backwards, right? And revisiting. And so like I have been revisiting Green Day's American Idiot album, and the Postal Service Give Up album. Both of these, although I think I heard them at very, very different times, have been a part of my like personal makeup as a human. You know what I mean? Oh, I like that. Okay. Are there any gospel girlies here? When me and LaRon were in Miami, we were watching the Apollo in the hotel room because if you missed it, it was raining like more than half of the time we were there. We were watching the Apollo back in the day, and Trinity, this group named Trinity, was up there singing, and we were like, who are these girls? Because their songs are kind of lit, you know what I mean? It's gospel, but it's kind of lit. And then we go like look up their catalog and realize that we do actually know this group. We know them already, and there are songs that we actually know by heart, right? And then it was like it was just like a funny moment, because one of the songs is called God's Grace. It's like God's grace, all things through Christ Jesus, right? Mind you, I was raised Muslim. mind you, your girl is not religious now at all. However, that song is a bop. And I've heard it a million times as a kid, a million times, and just didn't realize it. Didn't realize that the song was a gospel song because they were playing it on the regular like hits and oldies channel. Mostly probably because, again, that group is a bop and they can sing. But I was listening to it when I got back for like a week. It's not on my list here somehow, but I don't know, maybe it was and now it's not because other songs have kind of taken my attention up. But I just thought that was so funny. I had no idea that was a gospel song. Do I like that in the middle? This is too late now. Also, Minnie Riperton's Les Flores, I think is how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. That's another little song that kind of snagged my ear. I don't know where I heard the damn song, probably TikTok, but it's beautiful, and I've also been enjoying that. I listened to Childish Gambino's recent album, Bando Stone and the New World. It felt like it was entirely too long. I'm just gonna say it. Also, I kind of wish that Childish Gambino would go back to making the music he used to make. More hip-hop, less indie guy music. I wish he'd go back to that. I think he'd do better if he went back to that. But I think overall the album was like very like summertime vibes, by the pool, you know. It kind of carefree. It was giving all those things, I think, for sure. Then I took a listen to JT's Hood Cinderella. I was hoping it would be, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that album would be a little bit of like getting another City Girls album, and it just wasn't. It was a little bit harder than I think it needed to be. Hard, like it was more rap than hip-hop. I don't know. There weren't any songs that like really stood out to me. And Coco and Claire Claire also dropped 2 Lucy's recently, and they have I think a new album that's gonna be coming out in about a month. I love Coco and Claire Claire. They are my girls. I think I would be like the 3rd member if I knew them. Love them. Okay, let's get into books, right? So I said before that I had started reading the Court of Thorn and Roses series by Sarah J Maas, right? Your girl is almost done the 3rd book now. A Court of Wings and Ruin. And man, okay, can I talk about this like for real? I'm not gonna like give spoilers or anything like that. I'm just saying like how it's making me feel, right? This feels like the like second coming of Twilight for me. When I was in high school, and everybody started reading the Twilight series, right? I have never been like a huge reader, especially at that time. There was something about this like idea of like there being mystical creatures out there, and also like reading about romance, like experiencing romance through the eyes of this young woman, Bella. It changed me, right? And I was never the same. I wasn't the same person after reading that book, after reading the whole saga. The saga that I read, like mad books, and I read them in like 2 weeks, all of them. It overtook me, right? And there's something about this series because it feels like Twilight for grown people, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I love mystical creatures. I love girl falls in love with mystical creature trope. I love the idea of 2 beings fighting against all odds for their love. And I love the way that women write romance, because I was thinking about this too last night, is like, I don't know that a man could write something like this, and that is actually probably another goal I want to put in front of myself, is finding romance books written by men, because I just need to know. Because I realized that also like Stephenie Meyer, right, also knew what the hell she was doing when she wrote Twilight, and I'm not sure that I've like read any of this type of stuff written by a man. Do they write stuff like this? I don't know, but that's something I'm interested in like finding out. I love, and there is definitely a part of me that is like, god damn, I would love to experience this. Like, you know what I mean? I would love to experience the things that I'm reading here. Not to mention that this damn book is spicy. It's spicy. Oh man, spicy girl. But even if it wasn't this damn spicy, just like the idea of a man moving hell and high water to be with you, with all these like external forces trying to keep you apart, trying to keep you from having the love of your life, or having something inside you like that forces you to just like love this person unconditionally. All of that, like I love all of it. Now I do have personal critiques about how she formats this book, these books. Sometimes she ends chapters when she should just keep them going because the next chapter is still in the same scene, you know, stuff like that. I have thoughts about with this lady. But overall I'm really enjoying myself. I'm a little bit irritated though because I just ordered the 4th book and it came this morning and it is very thin. It's very thin. It's the thinnest of all the books I've read so far with this, okay? Because these books are a little over 600 pages. and I feel a little cheated that the book that just showed up to my house today looks like it's a little over, maybe it's a little over $250. Where's the rest of the book? Editing me. Okay, I remembered something else I wanted to bring up during this video, and in reference to the book, right? I wonder, like, if I'm the only one who does this, but like, while I read, sometimes music will pop into my mind, almost like a soundtrack or a score to what it is that I'm reading, right? And sometimes it's literally songs I haven't heard in months, but they'll just start playing in my head while I'm reading. And that's actually how Regina Spektor ended up on my repeats list. That song, Us. I think that if they ever turn this series into a movie, I think that song, Us, by Regina Spektor, should go accompanying the second book. Love it. TV shows and movies. I haven't been watching a ton of TV or YouTube because all I've been doing is reading these damn books, right? But my little sister, who she loves Tyler Perry, despite I keep telling her that Tyler Perry is not for the people and he's a union buster, okay? She loves Tyler Perry and like hopes to one day like be able to work alongside him or be better than him or whatever, which she's already better than him. Anyway, she was like, Tyler Perry got a new movie, you gotta watch it. And I was like, I don't want to watch this bullshit. She was like, please, you gotta watch it. And I was like, all right, fine. So I watched Divorce in Black with Megan Good, and you know, crazy light-skinned man trope is real interesting. Like that, like Michael Ealy, not Michael Ealy guy giving the crazy light-skinned man trope. Interesting stuff. There you go. Kind of giving this like black version of Jennifer Lopez's Enough. Interesting stuff. I feel like most of us here would agree that Tyler Perry has a lot of issues he needs to work through, and I'm tired of seeing his issues manifested in these movies. I'm just like dead ass tired of it. That is all. Pop culture chatter. Y'all need to really cut it out with picking on Simone Biles. I don't like it. Don't like it. Talking about this girl hair and she's like an Olympian, and I'm like, why are we still on this conversation? Who gives a shit? Like, she's bringing home the gold, you know? I'd rather us be talking about why her man is over here walking around with her medal like he won the damn shit. Those conversations are more interesting to me. The fact that this man think that he's like the prize between them two, you know, whatever, fine. I don't think the bottom half here is translating the way that I want. I think I'm gonna delete. I think I'm gonna remove some of this and start over. I think I want something different on my chin. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this is the other thing, the Cardi B Offset situation. Okay, it's giving abuse to me. It's really giving abuse to me. The way that, like, okay, so I watched Impressive talk about this. I also watched the video first, actually, that Impressive shows. There's somebody on TikTok who like gives like a full timeline breakdown of the Cardi B Offset cheating saga, you know? And literally this woman has been trying to get away from this fucking lunatic for years, and something always happens that just stops her from doing so, including her getting pregnant, right? And she just told everybody again that she's pregnant with her third child now with Offset, and they're saying that somebody else might also be pregnant again at the same time as her, because I think that happened once before already, that someone was pregnant at the same time as her. It's embarrassing. I always kind of felt some kind of way that, like, as soon as her career really got off the ground, she started dealing with this man and then like having his baby. Literally while she was on her maternity is when Megan Thee Stallion really got popping. It just so happened that they ended up becoming friends, you know, but really Megan kind of slid her up out that spot. When I like saw this video, of all the times that like Offset was like caught cheating, or you know, even like he hooked up with Tweety. First of all, I feel like he knew he was not ready to be married. He knew he was not ready to be married, but married this girl. Why? Probably to put her on the bench. Because if there's one thing a man gonna do is put you on the damn bench, okay? And it's really embarrassing because I just, you know, like, music is music, right? Artistic expression. But when you like listen to these songs about girls like playing these men out, like getting the best of them, and like talking all this trash, but then you know, like in their real lives they're not doing any of those things, to the point that they're like getting publicly dog walked. Like Cardi B is better than him, like is better than Offset. And I think it'll be even more embarrassing if she like shouts from the rooftops that she's gonna divorce him this time and doesn't. Obviously, like, she does have to consider the fact that she does have a kid coming on the way, you know? But still, we hate to see it. Speaking of getting married, I saw a conversation actually this morning with Big Sean talking about why he doesn't want to marry Jenny Aiko. That's how you pronounce her name. He was doing like an interview with Charlemagne, and I can't even tell you what his response was, because it was a whole lot of nothing. It was a whole lot of nothing, and I was just like, don't piss me off, okay? Because I always say this, and I'll say it again, it's like, children are a lifetime commitment, right? If you get married, you can get divorced. But children cannot be taken off this planet if the relationship that like made them, created them, dissolves, right? Why is it that people are super duper chill, okay with like having a baby, but get spooked spooked at the idea of like getting married? I don't think marriage is like the end all be all, as we see with Cardi B and Offset. A lot of the married men be the worst behaving. However, I think if a woman desires to be married, she should be able to do that. And if she's with a partner who knows that she wants to be married and is not trying to marry her, then she should move on. Especially if you will embarrass me in public, telling everybody that you're not ready and this and that we got problems and all this stuff. Like, weird. And I say that because like they have a child together. I think they had a child maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So she gave you a baby, but you can't give her a ring. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. It's getting really weird. But I think off just you publicly speaking on this in the way that he did would piss me off. Trends in internet memes. So I feel like the dating, like, actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna mix trends in internet memes and the tea on me together, okay? Together. Okay, so dating these days is a sad state of affairs, right? And you know, and it's like for everyone. And so recently in Philly, there's this guy named Dave who recently took out a billboard in an attempt to get a date, right? And he's made like an Instagram. It's like called Date Dave Philly, I forgot, Date Dave, something like that. And he's receiving a lot of attention now because people want to like follow his story and root for him, you know. Shout out to him for even just the bravery to put himself out there that far, right? He bought a billboard to try to get a date, but literally it is like what is giving these days right now. Like, that is what the situation is giving. Okay, so my battery actually died while I was talking, and I didn't realize that it had been off for a while. So to just fill in the blank, I was talking about the guy Dave and how brave that is, but also how sad it is. And it's a true reflection of the state of affairs, especially when it comes to dating, especially when it comes to dating in Philly. Like I told you guys already, they say statistically it's not going to happen for you trying to find something serious in Philly, but yet we all persist, right? Now, I got catfished recently. And so I started to tell the story, and it got I didn't realize the camera wasn't recording. So basically I was saying that I got back on the apps. I've been matching with a couple people, trying to be more open to doing that. I matched with one guy. I named him Bumblebee. Um, and Bumblebee was really cool. We had things to talk about. He was really kind of confident, kind of, you know what I mean? Very Philly, even though I said I wasn't dating no more Philly guys. I was going to date transplants only moving forward, but you know, whatever. He ended up being cool. You know, he really jumped into talking about my personal interests and things. We moved to like texting and talking on the phone and stuff really quickly. At some point he asked to FaceTime to just make sure I'm like really for real, you know, a person. And I was really open to doing that, and I did. And I kind of noticed that, he, there was a variation, from how he looked on his profile versus who I was looking at from the shoulders up on FaceTime. I think that is a good place to stop. Okay, I'm back. My battery died. Okay, so I think what I was saying is that, you know, I felt like there might be like a little bit of a discrepancy in his appearance, but it was really hard to tell if what I was seeing on FaceTime was what I was thinking, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of like trying to give a little grace, because I know that I photograph as a much thinner person than I am in real life, right? I got a big stomach, and my stomach is just as fat as my ass, but I also know my angles. I also know what is gonna make me look good, right? And so I do have a lot of grace when it comes to like physical appearances, because I kind of have to. And also, like I said, we were really connecting, and I was like, okay, I think this is good, right? And he's like really confident, you know, a little bit of a smart mouth, and I'm like, I like this, you know? And it was a risk on me, because I said to myself a long time ago, I wasn't dating any men who are from Philly proper ever again, that I'm only dating transplants. I'm a transplant, right? I'm a Jersey girl. But so time is going on, and we keep not meeting. Like, he never asks if we can like link up, and I think that's weird, because usually guys are super like anxious to meet up. But he's never asking me, like he just never asks if we're gonna get together. And so at some point I'm like, look, okay, I didn't really come here for the pen pal thing, you know. I would really like to see if there's like a connection or something like that between us. And if not, maybe there's at least a friendship here, right? And so he's like, yeah, cool, right? And so we pick a day, we pick a time, and I'm thinking he's gonna pick a place, because he is the one who is actually from Philly, and he doesn't. He keeps going, what do you want to do? Which always really pisses me off. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I hate that. Please pick somewhere. So he picks someplace up in like the super northeast, right? And that kind of pisses me off, because I told him, when he first told me, what about this place? I said, you know, hey, this place is kind of far from where I am. Can we do something like in the middle of both of us, you know? And he puts zero effort into finding another place, to the point where I'm like, all right, fine, I will meet you at this place. I made the mistake of taking a Lyft right out there, because I didn't feel like driving my car, never do. And I get there before him, and the place is closed, and I like go into panic mode, and I like call my cousin, and I'm telling her what's happening, and I'm also just like having her keep me company, right, while I wait, because he says he's on his way. So while I'm on the phone with her, you know, this truck like pulls up or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's probably him. And he gets out of the car, As I'm telling the story to you, I'm thinking about that scene from Friday. I'm thinking about this scene from Friday. You remember Friday? Remember when Smokey was on the phone with Andell from Moesha, and she was like, you know, thick. They say I look like Janet Jackson. And he was like, Janet Jackson? And then she gets out the car and he's like, look more like Freddie Jackson. That's fucked up. That's really messed up. But like, actually that is what happened to me. Is that he got out of the car and did not look at all like any of his full body pictures. Like at all. And I was so upset. I was so pissed. Right? But me being the nice person, I was also actually really mad at myself. Let me stop right there. I was also really mad at myself because I know so many girls who would have called it out right there and ended the date right there because you lied, right? But me trying to be measured, trying to be kind, I do the date, right? I didn't even eat. I was so pissed. Like, he sat in front of me and had like a full meal and I couldn't even bring myself to order anything outside of a drink. Like, I had one margarita and I sat there and I was pissed, you know? Not to mention that, you know, if you like, okay, so this other thing too was like, when we were talking on the phone and stuff, he had all this damn confidence, right? Big ego talk, right? And he's like shrunk in front of me, like shrunk. And this is like a very tall man, right? And his personality, like I think he could have pulled the date off if he had just been just as big of a personality, larger than life, you know what I mean, kind of vibe in person, like he was giving on the phone. But instead he was giving very low confidence. He was doing like a lot of this, like, you know, and it was giving me the ick, like the low confidence, let alone the fact that he didn't physically look like how he was supposed to look. It was giving me the ick. I can't be around people who are like that. I just can't. Can't do it. And you know, I made up an excuse or whatever about like my family having a barbecue. That's why I'm not gonna eat right now, you know, like all this stuff. Because I also didn't want to have him spend money on me and I'm not interested, you know what I mean? Like, you can pay for this one drink, but I'm not gonna have a meal on you and I'm not interested in you. I'm never gonna see you again, right? My phone, like I got a text message from my sister or something like that and used that as an excuse to get up out of there. And then I went home and I just sat in my room just totally stunned that happened. I don't even know if this will see the light of day or whatever, but I got catfished tonight by a guy I've been like chatting with. And it's just so crazy because we like FaceTimed and stuff, and I thought like it was a little weird that, you know, I was only ever seeing like this much of him. You know what I mean? And then I figured out why I wasn't seeing the whole rest of it. Dating is so hard. And especially for someone who's not always outside and in the mix, you know. I got a job. I'm like a functioning adult. I don't have oodles of time to just be outside, you know what I mean? Like, searching for guys. Like, I just don't. And, you know, I always hear like men talk about like women doing this particular type of catfish, you know, and even sometimes I feel a little weird because I like photograph as a thinner person than I am, but I'm still cute, you know what I mean? But like face card never declines. And I just like, I hate that I'm like so fucking nice that I went through with the date regardless of the fact that I was deeply disappointed, and I didn't question why he has these pictures from ages ago. The pictures were him. I should say that. The pictures were of him. They were just from a very long time ago. What the hell? Like, I wanted to cry, bruh. And like I hit LeBron up immediately, and she was like, I hate that you gotta start over. And it's like, yeah, I have to start over, but also like I hate that like even the guy, like he's a nice guy. I'm just deeply not attracted to him. And also just like I got icked by the fact that you would like you're lying, like, but also it's like maybe he doesn't see the discrepancy. I don't know. And that's the thing, right? Like I like a guy with a, you know, I can do a guy with a little belly and stuff like that. I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. But you got to know that that's what you're getting involved in before. Like you took away my option to choose. I don't know. And like I don't want to come off as like being mean or like shallow or whatever. But there's like the dishonesty of it all gave me the ick. Keep it a buck. It was like to the level, I just want to be clear, like it was to the level where people were like looking at us because like, how did y'all like, so bad. So bad. And I'm trying not to like let it get me too down, you know, get back on the horse. Like I just matched with somebody else this time, and this guy is like an attorney, and I'm like, girl, are you? Are you? Because I have my reservations now. Child. I'm gonna have to start degrading these men. Like, yeah, let's do a FaceTime and do a spin. Let me see. Let me see that body. Girl. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Earth is so ghetto. And the other thing is that he tried to act like he was about to catch the ick because I said I have a cat. But bitch, I have a picture of me and Baby the cat on my profile. I always put a picture of me and Baby because ain't nothing splitting us apart. Period. I was like, there's a picture of me and this cat on my fucking profile. And I think I actually mentioned that I'm a cat to my mom. Girl, get I'm ready to go. It's like he literally was not the person he was portraying himself to be in all of the ways that you can deceive somebody. I was very hurt, but also like trying to get back up on the horse, right? Because I think I said this already on my Q3, is that I want to try to go on 1 date a month, and it's not off to a good start, but it has started. So I'm proud of myself in that way, you know. But what the heck? What the heck? It is a sad state of affairs out here. It really is. But anyway, I'm gonna stop running my mouth so I can edit this video real quick. We did it. We made it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Thoughts, opinions about any of the things we talked about, because we talked about a whole lot of stuff. Okay, let me know what you think of better and different, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.